Hello again, and welcome back to Pandemic 101, version 2020, episode 20-something. You know, I have personally enjoyed sharing a few minutes with you every other week, and I'm sure Georgia Ford has also. And we hope that these short lessons have made things just a little bit easier to bear during this trying time. I teach the fellowship class at St. Andrews. It's an older class, and our Sunday school class uses a standard liturgical curriculum which comes from Cokesbury. It's a Bible study. The lesson this past Sunday was the story of the Good Samaritan, which comes from Luke chapter 10. And as I sat and listened to Tom's sermon on Sunday morning, the idea came to me that this particular lesson could be an appropriate follow-on to his message. The title for this lesson was, "Who is my neighbor?" You know, Jesus did not initiate the idea of loving our neighbor as ourselves. It was a part of the inherited Jewish law for centuries. But he did significantly clarify the definition for us. You know, we all know this Bible story. A man was traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho. He was attacked, he was beaten, robbed, and left for dead along a desolate part of the road. Several persons passed by as he lay there. First was a Jewish priest. What did the priest do? Well, he quickly moved to the other side of the road and kept going, apparently unwilling or unable to help. Likewise, a Levite, or a lay leader as we might call them today, passed by and did essentially the same thing. Finally, along came a Samaritan. It was this Samaritan, a person of mixed heritage, one who was perhaps universally despised by the Jewish community, who saw the man in his time of need and had pity on him. What did the Samaritan do? Well, he took the time to dress the man's wounds. He carried him to an inn along the way and paid the innkeeper to ensure that the man would be cared for until such time as he was well enough to continue his journey. It's a timeless story. There can be, and in fact there are, many different interpretations or morals that are associated with this particular story. Maybe one of these deals with the proper response to a particularly stressful and sometimes agonizing situation or emergency. Maybe much like the one that we're experiencing right now. In order to successfully navigate through periods like this, we need to understand our Christian calling and to share and to act on some common goals. Every single entity, whether public or private, corporate or individual, regardless of religious affiliation, irrespective of cultural or ethnic identity, needs to play a role in meeting ongoing basic human needs. That was the attitude of this Samaritan. That is what today we might label a truly Christian attitude of love and compassion, one that overcomes any incidental circumstances. Much has been made of the medical, civil, political, and economic unrest that's facing this nation and indeed the world. Division is extremely widespread. Sometimes the differences seem unbridgeable. Matthew 12:25 tells us that a house divided against itself cannot stand. Question: why is it so often difficult to cooperate, compromise, and aspire to the common good? You know, as Christians, faith and hope should be our guiding factors. Should be. However, we all know the situation is what it is. The opportunities for service during this pandemic are both critical and numerous. Feeding the hungry, creating a satisfactory and fair educational environment, advocating for justice, loving the otherwise unlovable, establishing cross-cultural communication and understanding. Sometimes, though, it is just a question of priorities. Jesus often forced people to face the question of priority. In this particular story, He gave us a new perspective, a new priority on loving God and loving our neighbor. The definition requires seeing and identifying with the neglected and the unloved through a process of companionship and of care. We have to become more sensitive to where human hurt and need exists. We have to become a source of strength, a part of the solution to meet those hurts and need. We also have to somehow avoid letting customs, busyness, or time constraints rob us of an awareness of our calling and of these priorities. Our Christian faith should bring an all-encompassing purpose to our daily living, a sense of heart to our feelings, and importantly, caring hands and mobile feet to all of our undertakings. You know, I think Tom summed it up quite nicely this past Sunday. At one point he said the common goals for all Christians should focus upon mercy, upon justice, upon kindness, and upon love. It is these kinds of actions that will provide us with the motivation and with the strength to pull through this crisis together, united in God's love. And so, until next time, my usual, be careful, stay safe, and God bless you all.